Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Legacy on Chain, where the next chapter of legacy is written on chain. And first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for the support, the views that I've recently received from some of my videos, all of the subscribers that I have. I'm really grateful for the support that everybody has shown. Um, and one of the things that I like to think about is the fact that this channel didn't exist before. Whether it's 30, whether it's 300, whether it's 3,000, whether it's 3 million subscribers, you know, this was an idea before, and to see the support that everybody has shown, the views that I have received recently, I'm really grateful, and long may it continue. All right, so guys, today we are speaking on Ripple, the Ripple blockchain, and its native asset, the XRP digital asset. Now, Ripple are playing no games, guys. They're playing no games. I can tell you this categorically. When a company puts this kind of statement on their website, they mean business. It said XRP, the digital asset for real world utility. Now, guys, I always stress on this channel in every episode that we are only studying digital assets that are meant for real world utility. We're not interested in meme coins. We're not interested in anything that is a quick get rich quick scam, or get rich quick scheme, should I say, rather. Right? We are in it for the long haul. Right? We are in it to build generational wealth. We are in this to build a legacy. Right? When they speak in time, in time to come, there will be a history that we saw what was coming, that we invested early, we invested before the big institutions got in. Right? So guys, it says the digital asset for real world utility, XRP. Come on, let's go. Right? So who are the clients? Who are Ripple trying to serve? Who are they trying to provide solutions to? It says XRP enables businesses and financial institutions to drive their blockchain-based applications at scale, right? So here it says that it is proven technology, right? And I've said this before, that for the World Bank, for the World Economic Forum to include Ripple and Stellar on their website and Hedera, it must be proven technology. Another thing that they have stated here is that it has regulatory clarity, right? And we can see that with the settlement that happened between Ripple and the SEC in the United States of America, right? And then again, high performance. And this is, when you think of these three things, these three pillars, these are the things in which any institution, any corporate institution looks at. That it is proven technology, that it has regulatory clarity, and that it has high performance. And especially when it comes to regulatory clarity, one of the things I have to really commend Ripple on is I saw a picture the other day of President Trump and Ripple's CEO. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly on here. And I always think that when you see companies aligning themselves with government, those are the companies you really want to pay attention to. Let's see if we can find a picture of them. There we go. There we go. It's loading up a bit slow. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It'll take me to Instagram now. Okay, It's taking a bit longer to load, but as you can see here, here is President Trump, and here is Brad Garlinghouse, who is the CEO of Ripple, right? Um, Again, here is Brad Garlinghouse with Donald Trump's son, right? So these guys are all in cahoots. They all know themselves, basically, right? And the idea wasn't even to bring this all up, but I have to show the affiliations, the things that go on, on the back end, which, to be honest, the normal civilian will miss, right? This doesn't come on primetime television. This kind of photo doesn't make it to the news. You have to go looking for this, right? So this, I think, was before President Trump was inaugurated into office for the second term. You can see Brad Garlinghouse, um, President Trump, and I want to believe this is Ripple's lawyer. I think his name is Stuart Alderotti. So there we go. All right, let's close Instagram. So that's just to further prove my point. So Ripple are doing some big stuff, really, really big stuff. Um, and now, the idea of what they're trying to build with the XRP ledger, with RLUSD, which is their stablecoin, is what? Building the internet of value. And I said this last time, guys, if you remember, that the whole concept of highways and railways, it's to move value. It's to transfer value, right? That's what it is essentially. When you think of major infrastructure in any country, when you think of motorways, when you think of train stations, it is all to move value, right? Whether somebody's got a meeting, whether somebody is using a lorry to transfer wine, a champagne, whatever it may be, it's all to create value, right? These are the rails to move value. So Ripple have stated on their website that they are building the internet of value, right? And I remember saying, somebody said one time that if you think of a pipe helps to bring water, right? So let's just imagine this line is a pipe and it's bringing water down, right? There is no way that this pipe doesn't get wet. Meaning, consequently, that if Ripple is helping to move value, they also, as a company, as an entity, the ledger, the asset, will also be valuable, right? In that analogy. So I want to draw a bit of attention to something that has happened recently, where Ripple have recently acquired a company called Hidden Road, right? And here we go. It says it's prime time. Ripple closes Hidden Road acquisition to bring prime brokerage into the digital age, right? So it says here, Hidden Road, if you do your research on Hidden Road, a massive, massive company that basically allowed legacy, or should I say, legacy finance to essentially buy digital assets. So your banks, your hedge funds, to basically allow them to onboard onto acquiring certain digital assets, right? Now, Ripple themselves was a company, a customer of Hidden Road, but have now bought them in a major acquisition. Ripple are on a roll at the moment, guys. Believe me, they are buying everything up. They are doing what I believe is strategic business. That's what I call it, strategic business, right? Because if they have the rails that will allow value to be transported or to be transferred, what they have essentially done is to use Hidden Road, the company, right, as a proxy to allow their customers to now use the solutions that Ripple provide. Right. So it says here, earlier this year, Ripple announced its intent to acquire Hidden Road, one of the fastest growing non-bank prime brokers in the world, offering institutions a one-stop shop for advanced services, including clearing, prime brokerage, and financing across FX, digital assets, derivatives, swaps, and fixed incomes. So now it goes on to say the acquisition is complete and Hidden Road is now Ripple Prime. Now, guys, this is so significant because I always think of, like, when I see that word Prime, I always think of like Amazon Prime, right? But this is like a one-stop shop now for all financial institutions, even non-banking financial institutions, right? To basically buy, sell, or to trade crypto or its assets via the proxy of Ripple Prime. So if we put that into the analogy that I always use of railroads and highways, essentially this has become, it's like a Union Station. In London, we would basically say this is like a King's Cross St. Pancras, right? Which allows you to connect to so many other destinations. Internationally, domestically, this is what Ripple Prime will be. So it says this is an exciting new chapter for Ripple, making it the first crypto company to own and operate a global. You see what I'm saying, guys, right? That's what it would be. For those that live in the United Kingdom, that live in London, you would know that King's Cross St. Pancras allows you to connect to France. So the Eurostar goes from London, or leaves from France. I'm sorry, leaves from London to go to France, to Belgium, I believe, and to Holland, right? To the Netherlands, right? So essentially, that's what this prime would be, to operate a global multi-asset prime broker and bring the promises of digital assets to institutional customers at scale. In fact, since the initial announcement of the acquisition, Ripple Prime's business has grown by 3x, and additional growth for new and exciting customers is expected. Guys, this is so significant. So significant. You know, it goes on to say here, the synergies between the two businesses made this acquisition a logical next step to support institutional adoption of digital assets. Ripple's foundational digital asset infrastructure across payments, crypto custody, and stablecoin, as well as the use of XRP, will complement the services offered within Ripple Prime. In the future, Ripple Prime will look to leverage blockchain capabilities in its business to streamline operation and optimize costs. Guys, this is powerful, right? You see where it says here, in the future, Ripple Prime will look to leverage blockchain capabilities. What is it talking about? It is talking, guys, about XRP, right? The digital asset for real world utility. This is so significant. So if I'm to put an analogy to this, right? This is why I say the XRP, its utility and its value is actually for institutional players, right? So on an institutional layer, what would happen is, you know, institutions, non-financial institutions, banking institutions, or financial banking institutions would essentially come to the one-stop shop. They'd basically come to this Union Station, they'd come to King's Cross St. Pancras, they'd come to this multi-layered solution provided by Ripple, which is called Ripple Prime, right? So here we have financial institutions engaging with Ripple Prime to buy crypto assets. But what is it leveraged on? What is Ripple Prime leveraged on? So this is the back-end technology that would happen, right? So on this layer, here's what everything would happen, because above this you'd have the customers, right? The customers want to buy assets, right? Here are the institutions, right? Here is Ripple Prime, right? Now, on this level, this is the institutional level, but on the back end, RippleNet. So when it said there on that side that it would leverage blockchain technology, it is talking about leveraging either the XRP token, as we can see here, or RLUSD, right? But here is the real liquidity, right? Because of on-demand liquidity, which is, facilitated in the XRP token, right? So, and then of course, as RLUSD, which is Ripple's stablecoin, grows, there will be a lot of liquidity here. So this is very, very powerful, guys. Very, very powerful stuff that has happened. As we can see here, this is breaking news as of the 3rd of November, which is today's date. It says Ripple launches digital asset spot prime brokerage for the United States market. So it's already started, guys, right? They've started already in the United States. I'll just read through this really, really quickly. It says Ripple, a financial technology company that offers crypto solutions for businesses, today announced the launch of digital asset spot prime brokerage capabilities for the United States market. US-based institutional clients are now able to execute over-the-counter, that's what OTC stands for, spot transactions across dozens of the most prominent digital assets, including XRP and RLUSD. That's what I showed you guys here, guys, right? But this would be on this layer, this would be on the liquidity layer that would basically be providing the infrastructure for Ripple Prime to then provide the infrastructure for corporates, right? So it's all a big chain. It's all a big chain, but it would essentially flow from down up, right? But then you can also look at it from the demand going down. It's amazing. So it says, following the acquisition of the multi-asset prime brokerage Hidden Road, here we go again, Ripple has combined its licenses with Hidden Road Solutions under Ripple Prime. So of course, the acquisition is what has basically given birth to Ripple Prime, providing new capabilities where institutions can seamlessly access FX, digital assets, derivatives, swaps, and fixed income. So the launch of OTC spot execution capabilities complements our existing suite of OTC and cleared derivatives services in digital assets and positions us to provide the US institutions with a comprehensive offering to suit their trading strategies and needs. This was said by Michael Higgins, who is the international CEO for Ripple Prime. Man, Ripple are doing amazing, big things, guys. Definitely one to watch out for. And I hope this is something that will further inform you of the direction in which things are heading towards. See you in the next episode.